The Lifestyle Show, presented by Selina MacKenzie.
Delirium Diaries is a gripping medical memoir that chronicles Pete MacKenzie Hodge's unlikely survival in the ICU during a near-fatal illness. He joins us now to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show, Pete.
Thank you, Selina. Nice to speak to you.
Nice to chat to you too. So I guess we need to know what happened.
Yeah, so if we go back to the year of 2020, obviously it was the global pandemic, the COVID pandemic. And that year, actually, my daughter was born in February of that year. And obviously that was such a joyful and sort of euphoric moment for our little family. And then if we go on towards October time, I was feeling very unwell and I was testing negative for COVID several times. And then up until Christmas that year, I unfortunately ended up getting blue lighted to A&E in Manchester, where I quickly kind of spiraled and my condition quickly deteriorated. And I was told that I would have to be put in an induced coma, which lasted for 13 days. So I'm a very lucky man to actually survive that. And my memory of that time was very vague, really. I kind of remember saying to the medics, you know, I know you'll do your best for me. I've got a 9-month baby at home and my wife who, you know, had no support because of the lockdown measures. And for me, it was just a battle to survive for my girls at home, you know.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Was it COVID? Was that the problem?
Well, actually, the official diagnosis, Selina, was a mystery bacterial infection of the lungs, which ended up being a double pneumonia in both lungs, and then subsequently sepsis. So I was in a real bad way, and at the time about 35 years old. And yeah, it was a really challenging time for myself and my family, and obviously people around the world, as we were trying to kind of negotiate our way through this kind of unprecedented time, really.
So I need to ask you, because you said, and totally understandable, for those couple of weeks that you were in ICU, you didn't really have much of a memory, only a vague memory. So what's the book about then?
Yeah, so the book really was initially a therapeutic exercise just to try and get my head around and making sense of reality versus fiction, really, because when I woke up from my coma, I was a very muddled man, and I've experienced a lot of nightmares and dreams whilst in my coma, many of which I believe to have happened and played out in real time. And what happened was really I've started making notes on my iPhone just to try and kind of put it all in a box and just to try and, heal myself, really. And then if we fast forward to sort of post-lockdown, spring, summer, my wife and I took a holiday to the Lake District, and we actually ended up having a chance meeting with Steve Coogan, the actor and comedian, who basically, during our 20-minute conversation, which kind of covered everything from music and the Lake District to various other things, he said, have you thought about writing about your experience? And it hadn't really occurred to me to turn these notes that I had on my iPhone into a proper book. So I've actually got Steve Coogan, national treasure Steve Coogan, to thank for, turning this into what would become Delirium Diaries, the book.
What a great idea. I think he's totally right. I've got here that you're twice a survivor. So was that not the only thing that happened to you?
Yeah, you're right, Selina. So actually, if we go back to when I was 22 years old, I was diagnosed with bone cancer, having just graduated from university. And that was, again, a really challenging time for myself and my family, in that in ICU again, I was kind of forced to make a very difficult decision to lose your life, or to lose my life, or to lose my leg. And I had to basically choose to live. And, you know, in the end, they amputated my leg in order for me to survive. And obviously from that moment, I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to play the drums again, because I was a drummer for many, many years. And yeah, and now, you know, a few years ago, it happened again. So some people might say I'm the unluckiest person in the world. Others might think I'm the luckiest person in the world. And I definitely think I'm the latter.
I think you're Teflon.
Yeah.
No one's going to knock you down, Pete.
Yeah, well,
you're amazing. And it gives hope to other people. That's why I love these sort of stories. And I think it's great you've put it into a book. Am I right in thinking you're originally a children's book creator?
Yeah, that's right. So I started thinking of some ideas and sort of gained inspiration from my disability, really, and sort of started bringing those ideas to life in the form of picture books. So I've actually written a series of picture books that are yet to be illustrated. So I'm actually working with my niece at the moment, who's a very talented artist called Leah, and she's going to hopefully bring these books to life.
Oh, and I'm just looking at your website. We've got videos coming soon. What's that all about?
Yeah, so just this Saturday, just gone, I held my book launch celebration in Manchester, where I live, and we basically had a big celebration of family and friends. I actually sold out of books on the night, which hopefully bodes well, and the evening was hosted by the great Christine Court, who was marketing director for Time Out Group for a couple of decades and co-founded the Manchester International Festival. So I was honoured to have Christine host the event, and it was a sellout crowd. And we sold out of books, which was really, really pleasing for me.
That's amazing. Well done. And as well as it being your memoir, do you also speak to like family and friends and see how they were feeling at the time you were in ICU?
That's right. So actually in Delirium Diaries, which came out on Monday via the Book Guild, towards the end of that book, I've actually asked my inner circle of family friends to contribute a chapter each of what they went through and what it was like through their lens, if you like. And I think hopefully that makes the book a lot more dynamic and, you know, a fully rounded, compiled piece.
Yeah, definitely. It must have been so tough for your wife, not just because she'd just given birth, but because she was worried about you.
Yeah, it was a really frightening time for everybody, and what my wife went through. You know, she to me is the real warrior and the real soldier out of this, because she didn't know what was going to happen, and she, like I said before, she didn't have any support because of the lockdown measures and things. So I don't know how we all got through it, but somehow we did, and the human spirit and resilience is something that never fails to astonish me, really.
Well, yours is for sure. And your little girl must be 4 now, is that right?
She's 4, yeah. Hazel is her name, and she will be turning 5 in February. So she's doing well, and she's enjoying life in reception. So happy days.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, it sounds like a really, really inspirational book for our listeners. It's called Delirium Diaries. As Pete said, it came out on the 28th. It's by Pete MacKenzie Hodge, and it is out right now. Do you have a website if people want to find out more about you, Pete?
I do indeed. So you can follow me on Instagram at PeteWrites_. Or if you want to go to my official website, that's PeteMackenzieHodge.com, and that's Mackenzie with an A. And if you would like to purchase the book Delirium Diaries, you can do so by heading to bookguild.co.uk or by going to Waterstones, Amazon, or all of the usual places.
Great stuff. We're even selling it on our website right now, TRE.radio.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Selina.
Thank you, Pete. Good luck with the book, and do give a little kiss on the cheek to Hazel from me.
I will definitely make sure I do that.
Bless you. You take care of yourself. Thanks, Pete.
Take care. All the best. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.